What's up? Got this 2011 335 IS behind me, and got a new motor for it.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells.
8-bolt N54 out of a 335i coupe, and I'm gonna show y'all what I got here recently. Make this engine replacement go a whole lot easier and not have to worry about it again down the line. All right. Well, here we go. I'm gonna start out probably with this box first. It's the smallest one. This is around, let's say, it's about $1,800 worth of car parts right here. So let's just go ahead and get into it, I guess. I'm gonna bet y'all already know what it is. Just guessing off the size of it. Right here. It's the easiest way to get to this. It's so weird. I've never done work on a 335i. First E92. Let me tell you, this shit is a whole lot different than E36, E46, anything else. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Sweet, so this comes from D&J, domestic and Japanese. What we got here is a engine gasket kit for this beautiful N54 right behind me. It's like $100. Comes with just about everything you need. So we got valve cover gasket, which on E90s, E92s, F80s, F30s, all those cars, so your N54, N55, S55, even the B58, I believe. If you have a bad valve cover gasket or oil filter housing gasket and oil is dripping onto your serpentine belt, it'll cause that serpentine belt to get sucked in by the crankshaft, and you don't want that to happen because it's an expensive job to have it fixed after that happens. So right here in this kit, we got exhaust gaskets, valve cover gasket, oil filter housing gasket. We're not using that one though. I got a genuine one. Ignition. I don't know. There's a bunch of other gaskets in here that you can't really make out unless they're out, probably for like water pump or something else similar. Yeah, moving on. Second box from good old FCP Euro. Okay. Go grab that trash can. So here's a box from FCP Euro. Has a little bit of everything in it. So I believe this is a coolant hose. When I took off my old one, this end on the hose was super brittle and it broke off at the oil filter housing, which I just went ahead and bought another one. It was like $20. $20 there. And then we have upper radiator hose. This connects the radiator to a jungle of hoses. They all kind of connect right there in front. Meter of vacuum line. I'm pretty sure another one of these boxes has another meter of vacuum line. When you're doing work on N54, replace the vacuum lines while you're there, because there's so many on this fucking motor that if even one of them goes bad, you'll have a boost leak somewhere, and you don't want that to happen. Right here, we got some good old flywheel bolts, 8 of them for this motor. You'll see why here in a second, because this car is a DCT. It has a DCT transmission. Oh, I hope I didn't just cut something. Oh, no, I didn't. Alright, yeah. So first off, we have 6 Bosch spark plugs. Well, there goes one of them. N54 pre-gapped Bosch spark plugs. little spark plug action. Go ahead and replace those while I got the engine out. So the original engine that was in this car has a hole through the pan on 1 and 2, but this engine is good. The old engine had 109,000 miles. This one has like 180, I believe. But this one is good, has good compression. Just has a valve cover leak, so it's whatever. That's weird. What? What is this? Do y'all know what this is? Got some more gasketing. These are not sure what kind of gaskets these are. I'll remember when I go back and look and figure out what it is. Here's some red Loctite. I believe this is for the flywheel bolts. It came with a kit. So what I bought was, I'm doing a rear main seal replacement on this N54 as well. So I bought the whole rear main seal replacement kit, and that's gonna help go, it's gonna make the process a whole lot easier. Here is our first oil filter housing gasket. This goes in between the oil cooler, where the oil cooler lines, the bracket that connects to the oil filter housing gasket. It goes in between that. Here's our second oil filter housing gasket. This goes in between the oil filter housing gasket and the head, the cylinder head. So engine sealant nozzle, so that you can spray your sealant in there. And then, because I got the oil filter housing gasket kit, it came with all new bolts for the oil filter housing. So here's our hardware. I don't understand BMW. Why? On all your M50X engines, so M50, M52, M54, M52 TU, M40, M42, M43, all those motors, M51, all those motors that are like in between the years of 90 and 06. You guys used standard 6-sided hex bolts on just about everything. And then when 2007 rolled around, you're like, okay, old shit was working fine. Now, I know what we gotta do. Make every single fucking bolt a different type of bolt. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? Why is my valve cover bolts E-Torx, my fucking air intake bolts regular Torx, my fucking oil pan E-Torx, my fucking, I don't know, intake manifold bolts hex? Every damn 3 seconds, I'm having to change out the fucking socket because I'm going through this whole process of removing the intake manifold or the valve cover or something, and every single section that you go to uses different head types. BMW, you were able to build your engines for 40 years using the same type of bolts. Now, I don't even want it. I mean, I do, but I don't even want to work on a B58 or an N55 or N20 or some other shit, because I know I'm going to have some specialty tool set to be able to take that air filter out. Bruh, gonna make me go to Harbor Freight to buy 6 new sets of sockets. Because when you go to Harbor Freight, for some reason, you can't even buy one socket. You got to buy the whole set, which is all right. I mean, they got to have shit in bulk, but like BMW, you're making me, I have spent like $8,000 on tools in Harbor Freight in the past 3 months, and I feel like I have to go buy new tools every time I do a different job. And I'm not losing them. I have all my shit still. It's just you want to create new bolts to put on your engine. Anyways, that's beside the point. Gaskets. These are some vacuum line clips. They just hold the vacuum lines in place. Pretty simple shit, really. Let's see what this is. Oh, rear main seal. Moving on. Here's that tool. Pop this little guy open. a plunger on the end of it. This, I'm assuming, hooks through. I haven't done any work on this motor yet, so this is just kind of in hindsight, or pre-hindsight, just thinking about it. I'm assuming this locks onto the crankshaft somehow, and then you spin it, and it pulls it out. Looks pretty simple. Another vacuum clip. Another oil filter housing bolt. What the fuck? Oil pressure switch. Filter housing. Engine oil cooler line O-rings. Dang, that kit really came with everything. And then we have some sealant for the rear main seal. And another meter vacuum line. Okay. Oh, it came with a little instruction booklet on how to put this thing together. What's up? You get instructions. That's what's up. That's gonna make my life a whole lot easier. It is finally time for the grand finale of this video. This bad boy right here. The box is already trying to open. Let's go. Okay, sticker already fell out. Double, let's go. This was in an ECS tuning box, but I already took it out of the box. I got this off ECS tuning. But fuck ECS tuning, by the way. This is just the only website that had the part that I needed because it's kind of specific. Right here, what we got. So since this is a DCT car, it has a 6-bolt crankshaft because it was made in 2011. For those of you who don't know, after 2011, well 2011 and up, the 335i switched to N55 motors, but the 335IS, which is this car, has the S, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit perkier, a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer, you know, like an M, but no V8. So, you know, pick your poison. You can either have rod bearing issue or like coolant and fucking exploding issues with the N54. So pick your poison. Which one you want? You want turbo noises or you want ITB V8 noises? I mean, me for $400, I'm gonna pick the fucking 335IS all day because the M3 is like 40 grand right now if the rod bearings are done, or like 8K if the rod bearings aren't. Which, if the rod bearings aren't done on your V8 by now, it's 2023. You should have already done that. Fuck you. All right. Anyways, beside the point. I don't know how I keep going off on rabbit trails. Anyways, this had a 6-bolt engine. Impossible to find, and if they are, then they're $3,400. Not paying that for an N54 that's gonna blow up in 3,000 miles. Here we go, 8-bolt N54 out of the 2008 car. So we have an issue here. DCTs only came in like 300 8-bolt cars, but people do DCT swaps all the time. So how do they do that? This bad boy right here. So what we got, made by M Factory, is a 2-piece 8-bolt 2 DCT 8-bolt N54 to get rag DCT flywheel, made by M Factory, I believe. This bad boy's super nice. If the light will hit it just right. No. Got their name on it, got that thin layer of oil. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then there's this piece to it, which I'm assuming once you get your flywheel on, you bolt this down to the flywheel, and this is the part that actually engages with the DCT teeth. For those of you who don't know, the DCT does not have a pressure plate or a clutch because it already has 2 clutches inside of the transmission that switch in between the gear ratios. So essentially on the output shaft of your transmission, that's all it is like a 1-inch output shaft, and that's all you can see. There's no other room in there for anything really. The DCT on the outside, like taking it out, super simple actually. It's really all we need to get this engine hooked up to a DCT. I really want to see what it's gonna feel like with this flywheel, because on the stock BMW flywheel, it has a spring in it in between the flywheel segmented. There's the actual part that has the teeth on it that engages with the starter. And then there's the other part that is sprung that engages with the output shaft of the transmission. So there's a little bit of give in between the two flywheels to kind of absorb the torque and feedback from that transmission. So this is gonna feel really race car, really crisp, nice, crisp shifts. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, this, I'm really liking it. For $580, this is a good deal. Got a JB4, it's already out of the box. Little JB4, to make swapping this engine out a little bit easier after replacing it. Throw that JB4 on, mess with the tunes a little bit, and then take it up to the shop to get it tuned. Because as soon as this car is running, it's straight to the dyno to get it dyno tuned. Not really going for anything crazy, maybe like 400 a wheel maybe. Trying to keep the whole build under $5,000 for a 335 IS. That's pretty good, man. Got the car for $400 with 109 miles. Everything's mint, but the engine's blown to hell and back. So if y'all want a 6-bolt N54 long block with a hole through the pan, no more rods or pistons on cylinders 1 and 2, the rest of them are there, you can have it. I mean, just pull up to my house and get it. There's nothing on it. It's just block, rotating assembly, pan, and head, and valve cover. Nothing else, but that's all it is. It's just a long block. If you buy all these parts for your N54, assuming that it's not already clapped out yet, then you should be good. Fix all that shit, throw it in the car, you rip it. So yeah, let me know if you like this video, or if you don't, you can say that too. I don't give a fuck. Love you, bro. Bye.